Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Here you can see the final result of my mini album and the smaller one and my cute very small one. Yes, it was a lot of fun to make it, and here you can see I used these little envelopes. They are, I don't know the exact centimeters, but they are used for letters for offices and yeah, with a little window inside, and I want to use these windows also for my mini album. You can use what you have, but I thought I can use these window envelopes, and I want to show you now what I have done until now. I prepared something for you. I really used 3 envelopes, and you can see now the gray one in the middle and the white one on the right and on the left side. And when you turn the thing, you can see now also a white envelope. I cut it in the middle and I glued it on the front side. Yeah, and I take this envelope and cut it, and I want to have a closure, so I glued in the middle liquid glue, and also I used washi tape, but I must say it is a really old washi tape, and I used underneath a liquid glue, so it is really gluing all together. Now everything is really tight, and I can turn the page easily. And on this gray envelope there was advertising, and I put some scraps on it and glued it down, but it doesn't matter, it has no meaning for this album. Yeah, and here in this little window envelope I put scrap. It is a scrap with flowers, and now you can see that it is a real window and you can put things behind. It is not glued. You can open it only on the top, no? Okay. And now you can see on the front side 2 envelopes, no, 1 envelope, and I still explained it. You cut it in the middle, and you have now 2 pockets. And I used the envelope as a pocket, and now you can see how many things you can put inside. I have 1 in the front and 1 in the middle is a pocket, and you have different possibilities to put things inside this, and I think it is a nice solution for a mini album. And on this white envelope I glued a digital print, and I cut it also in half and put it on front and on the back side. I think it is a really nice picture, and I like it now how it is yeah, on this front side, and I will do something on it, but you can see it later. I recycle very often paper, and I use scrap and glue this packaging paper together, and I use stencils, colors, and distress oxide sprays. And here you can see my examples. I have several papers, and now you can see on the back side that is really packaging paper. And now on this paper I have now in my hand is packaging paper I put to stabilize on another paper and glued it together. and the black stripes are with stays on made on the structure of a paper. You can put stays on it, and you have a really nice picture and result. And here I used mica paste and used a stencil with little circles, and also a bigger stencil. I thought it was a stencil made by Stamperia, and I like really the stencils of Stamperia. And I used on the front page a little piece of one of these scraps, and also in the inside of my album you can see also a scrap. I didn't use a scissor or something like that, but I glued it on the paper, and now I have a little scrap with flowers, with wild flowers, and I wanted to have it as an opening in the inside of the mini album. And now I try to find the right pieces and glue, and I want to glue all things down. I think the flowers and the flowers in the pocket, in the window pocket, really fit nice together. And so I really was sure to put it inside my album, and I try to glue it now down. Sometimes I'm unsure what I can use now, and I was thinking about it, what I can put on the left side. But sometimes I have no idea what I do next, and so I turn the page and I'm thinking about it, and now I open all the pages and thinking, what kind of paper can I use now? Yeah, I have paper enough, that is not the problem, but what would be nice on the front cover or inside. And here I try to show you the structure of my paper. I also use a glossy gel and stencil. I like this little paper, but you can see now what I try to do next. I found a little paper with a flower, and I thought this paper would be too big for the page, and so I fuzzy cut the flower and glued it on the right side. And you must decide what colors will fit together, and now I try to fix the white papers, because I think the white papers are not nice here, and I used the digital prints and cut it, and now I have a little packaging paper, a little stripe, and glued it on the right side, and now the digital paper on the left side. I want to have a little harmony, and I try to find the same papers or the same colors, so I can put it on the right side. And now I have a lot of glue on my fingers, and I try to get rid of my glue. Here is too much empty space, and I want to do something against this space. And now you can see I covered my papers, and here I have a pocket. I used all these little papers from my packaging with my prepared papers, my packaging papers. And yeah, now I want to have more colors inside my stripes. I have only a little scraps on the front side, and I don't like it as it is. And now I mixed green and white and also a little black, and yeah, I had too much of my paint, and now I use it also on my tag. I like it if the tag has contours, and yeah, I use the darker color to have a little contrast on the right side and on the bottom. And here I have something new. It is from Liquitex, and it is a special thing you can use with your acrylic paints. And if you use it, you can have a shiny effect on your acrylic paints. And it is now the first time I use it. And yeah, I am really looking forward to the result of these Liquitex paint. Yeah, and you can mix it with every acrylic paint and color, and I think it is really shiny, and I like this effect. I didn't expect it to look it like that it would look like this, and I'm surprised, I must say. I have a lot of fun to use the Liquitex and also the green color. And now you can see that there is a contrast between the colors in the background and the green one more in the foreground. And yeah, I would say that I will try it also again with other acrylic paints, but for now it is enough, I think. But it is a nice experiment, and I think it was a good result. And now I see my little tag, and yeah, there is a little rest on the foil, and I use also the rest because I don't want to waste anything, and now everything is used and I can put it away. I'm really happy with the result of the Liquitex, and now I will use again my favorite stencil. I like the little circles, and I want to do something with my stencil on the front side. And I use again my mica paste, and it is well, mica paste from Pen Art, and I use a spatula and put it on my stencil and on my paper, and it has a nice shine, and it gives a contrast to the green part of my paper. And now you can see the shiny result and also the structure of the mica paste. I like it very much and I use it very often. Yeah, and now I think on the little edge, or in the little edge in the corner, I need also little circles, and now it is better than before, I think. Yeah. Now you must wait because it must dry, but I have my little tag, and yeah, I also want to do something with my tag. Yeah, I use again my spatula and my mica paste. Oh, I am really happy. My result is very nice. I think here now you can see the shiny effect of the liquid text and the acrylic paint, and the more bling bling effect of my mica paste. I think it is a nice tag, and I'm really, really happy. Yeah, now I think it is enough. Here you can see my scraps and my packaging papers. Here are leftovers, and I don't throw anything away. I have a little pocket or little handmade envelope, and I put all my things inside. Yeah, and here I still prepared something, a little mini album, and perhaps I can do later something with it, and yeah, I put it away, and now you can see my pocket with my prepared packaging paper. They are ready to use inside an album, and they are painted, and I have structure on my papers, and yeah, you can also make pockets with it, and I have always some papers which are really contrast of papers. Here you can see there was a white paper with red lines, and I put the gray or brown packaging paper on it, and sometimes you have a gray paper or a brown, and yeah, you can use everything, and I think it is a very special paper set, and you have your own paper, and you recycle things, and I like this do-it-yourself thing. So in the meanwhile, I think my paper is dry, and the mica paste was very thick on my page. But I can use now my alcohol marker, twin marker, and give my edges a darker aspect. Yeah, I use an alcohol marker, black metal. I bought the twin markers in a shop named Action, and it is a really cheap one, but for these little decoration it is okay. I wouldn't use the twin markers for a really artificial thing. When you are painting, I think when you use better a copy marker or something like that. I'm not a comic painter or something like that, and I think for my craft things it is a very good one, and I like the twin markers. I think it is good to use darker edges to draw the viewer into the image. This gives an interesting effect, and that is the reason because I painted now in this metallic black. You can also use acrylic paint or vintage photo, distressed oxides, whatever you have. You can do what you think. I try to use now alcohol marker because the result is really nice. I think it is a good idea to have it now in my frame. And now I'm thinking, oh dear, on the right side there's a lot of empty space, and I want to have also a nice coverage on the page, and now I try to find a solution. But first of all, I use a black gel marker from Sakura. Sometimes I'm doing things like that, and now I can think about my page and what I can do now. but there are little flowers inside, and yeah, now I have a gold pen and gel marker, and I try to have now little accent on my flowers. Yeah, and now what can I do? Again, I find another flower and I do the same. Yeah, sometimes you are really thinking and you don't know what the page will look like in the future, and you have time enough, but yeah, sometimes you must think about it. I am not disappointed about my page, but I think I have to do something else. And now I decided to do something without the camera, and I will show you now what I have done in the time between. And yeah, here I have a stripe. You can see the stripes which I cut from my tag and glued it on the right side on the pocket, and I have now embellishment. Yeah. Sometimes I think you have a tag, and when you think twice, you have an embellishment. Yeah. Sometimes it is funny how things will end, but it is mixed media. There's nothing right or wrong. Yeah, and now I use a stencil from 13 Arts, and I use distress oxides with my brush. Yeah, but I can say it now, you will not see very much of my stencil work later, but I thought in this time I made something very nice, and I thought it would look great. But later I find another solution, I can say it now. I like the crackle effect very much, and I know I have crackling mousse by Nuvo. Yeah, and I want to use it on my page, and I still used again my pencil, not pencil, stencil with the little circles, and now I think the contrast between the top and the right side is, I must say I don't like it so much. But now the crackling mousse must dry. Yeah, in the meantime, I took my Impresslit, and now you can see I used it with my packaging paper. And these little Impresslits I made were a little bit thin, and I was thinking about it that I need a little bit more structure, so I use my packaging paper, and now I have my liquid glue, and use the liquid glue to put two pages together. And so you have a thicker paper, and when it is dry, I want to use my Impresslit again. It is an Impresslit by Tim Holtz and Sizzix, and I will try to find out the difference between it. Now you can see my thin Impresslit results, and I use aged mahogany on it with my brush. And yeah, you can see it on the top a little bit, but I think it is much better to use the brush on the paper, and afterwards you colored your paper. You can emboss it with your die cutting machine and your Impresslits. I think the great advantage of an Impresslit is that you can emboss it and cut it with one go. Yeah, and here you can see the really nice result of my flowers. And this one is the thicker one. There are 2 pages glued together. And now I've tried to find the right place for my Impresslits. Yeah. Decisions. Now I try to find out which one I will use on my papers, and the results of my Impresslits are very nice, but this one, the thinner one, is not as dark as the other one, and the flower is very dark, and I think the thicker one with the dark color is much better on the page. Yeah, now I can show you what I made with another Impresslit and also with my scraps. And I have leftovers from my Impresslits and put it inside, yes. And here I have now the dark result of my Impresslit, and I glued it only on the bottom. And now you can see the difference between the dark and the lighter result of my cut. Yeah, here again my front cover, but yeah, I will do something with it, yes. But sometimes I think it is good to think outside the box. If you see this Impresslit, you think, okay, I can use it only as it is. But that is not true. You have scissors. You can cut it in the middle and use the scraps as a pocket. And now I have 2 pockets. You can use it in a mini album like this, but you can also use it in big albums. You have very nice embossed Impresslits and very nice results, I think. I wanted to share my idea with you because perhaps you have also these Impresslits. Now you can see inside my pocket a little envelope, and I used paper with a steel rule die, and the steel rule die cuts this envelope, and the paper I used again with a 3D embossing folder, and finally I colored my paper and glued it together as an envelope. Yeah. And on the top you can see my leftovers from my cutouts from these Impresslits. It is the rest from these edges, and of course I use my Impresslits. I showed you the thicker ones and the ones which I colored with H. Mahagoni, and you can glue the thing on the top, and you could put a tag underneath. It is all possible. Yeah, and now I am looking forward to my butterflies. Yeah, also Impresslits, by the way, and I made 2. The first one is a really well-colored butterfly with H. Mahagoni, and also this little circle. I will try to use some of these things, but perhaps I use all, you will see. Yeah. Now you can see the inside of my album. I made some embellishments and put it on my pages. And again, I thought, yes, you have leftovers from your paper and you use again your Impresslit. And it is still not complete glued into my album. Yeah, you can cut it in half. But you can also do something else, and I show you now what I made with my leftovers. I had not enough paper inside, and I cut the leftovers from the bottom because there was not enough paper, and now I have a shorter Impresslit, but that is not bad because I can use it. and I have a very nice corner, and I have a good harmony to my paper construction, and I must say I really like it. I was really surprised because I never expected to have such a nice mini album with envelopes, with used envelopes. It is the first time I made something like this, and it is really a good decision to try it. I can also say it is very much fun to do something like that, and you should perhaps try it also. Yeah, and finally I used for my front cover the darker butterfly. I used wax pastes from Pen Art, and I used rosé gold. And it helps to show the structure of the butterfly better. And you can see now what I mean. I show you now my picture of my butterfly in the first page of my album. And I think it is a really nice butterfly and a really nice opening to an album. Yeah, and now I make a little flip through for you. Yeah, I have also a very mini album, but I show you later what I mean. I made something outside or without the camera, and now you can see the 3D effect of my butterfly, and it is a good idea to use hot glue to glue the wings down, and it is a nice effect, and it gives a little bit shadow behind. And yeah, I think also the wax pastes by Pen Art are very good for this little butterfly. Yeah, I like my first page, and also my constructor. Behind you can see now a tag, and the rounding of a tag has a nice picture that fits perfect into my pocket. And on the other side you can see my circle I glued on the tag. On the front side of my little mini album I also used leftovers from my Impresslits, and I used nearly the same papers. Here is the opening of my mini album, and I covered my Impresslits also with wax pastes. Yeah, and inside my pockets are also tags, and we have flowers on it, and I think the colors fit really good together. Yeah, and now you can see my second butterfly, and also little tags I made with my leftovers and with my Impresslits, and yeah, I used nearly everything I had. Yeah, and now you can see that you can put the tag behind my Impresslits. And I also used my gold embossing powder and a stamp, and also my mica paste on my green stripes, but you know how I made it. Yeah, and with my pocket I made something different. I used a paper and an Impresslits, and I glued it down so you have a pocket. And inside the pocket is now my little envelope. And it is now much easier to pull it out my pocket. And it is a good contrast to the green. And here's also a stamp, and I used Versamark and gold embossing powder. I think these are really nice flowers, and you can open the page and you have your, not a book, but something like that. No, you can write something down. Yeah, and now you can see my tag behind, and you can recognize my different structures of my papers. First of all, it was planned to have a short tag, but that was not a good idea because you can't see the nice flowers when you put it inside, and now I have the right length. I used again packaging paper, and I made tags with my packaging paper, and on the cardstock I glued my prepared packaging paper. I still use with mica paste with stamps and colors, distress oxides, and all these things. Yeah, I really like to do things like that. It is a lot of fun, and you can use it again and again, and you have always something prepared. Next pocket, next tag, and this one is a little bit simple, but also nice. I used a die for my tag. I think it was a die I bought in the shop Action. Yeah, and now you can see how many pockets I have, and also pockets with a window. Behind the window is a tag with flowers, and behind the tag is another thing you can discover. And you see now a notebook I made with envelopes, and I really used envelope papers. I have embellishments, and I glued it on the top, and in the corners I here, by the way, it is a real stamp. Yeah, the sailing ship is a real stamp, and here is a bird flying away, and I think this looks a little bit like the bird would follow the line of my envelope. Yeah. Also again my corner stamps and a bread. You can take away the pages or put pages to my paper, my envelope papers, and it's all possible. Yes, and I think you have enough space for many tags. Here you can see another one I put behind. It is a different pocket in the middle, and in the front, on the front side is also a tag, and I used again a leftover from my Impresslits results, and again also a stamp, and of course my mica paste. I love the gold mica paste. Yeah, I must say I like my mini album, and yeah, it has now a little sister, little brother, how you name it, I don't know. My mini album, and I used also some of my embellishments I made for my bigger album. This was left over from my stripes, my Impresslits, and I cut it in the middle and put it on the bottom and on the top. Here is a little mini pocket, and also I have some flower and plant stamps, and I used it in my mini album because the size of my stamps were really nice for my album. when you have a really little one, a very cute little mini album, you must find stamps which are useful for the size of the pages. And I think the work and the time you spend in your mini album is the same as the time with your bigger one. I never planned to do a mini album, but I thought it would be nice to have it, and I was thinking about it to make a little hole inside the little one and combine both ones with a ribbon and put it together. But finally I thought, no, it is now enough. Yeah, and now you can see both side by side. Thank you very much that you spent your time with my album and my mini album, and I hope you like it, and perhaps you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for your visit and your time. I am looking forward to your comment or a question. I will be happy to answer them as soon as possible. And in the meantime, I wish you a lot of fun while crafting, and I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope to meet you here again soon.